So the first step is to understand how to format your APA paper. You need to identify the three major components of a basic APA style document, and that's your title or cover page, the body of your paper, and your reference list, which will detail all of the citations and evidence that you used or identified in the body of your paper. We'll go through these step by step to understand how to format each piece and also identify some additional components that might appear in the paper as you progress through your academic work. So the first step in creating your title page is to open up a Word document and click on the header at the top border. This is where you will place the words running head, followed by a colon, and the title of your paper. Keep in mind this should be a shortened version of your full title if it is more than 50 characters. So the words running head followed by a colon and no more than 50 characters, including spacing and punctuation of your full title, should go in the running head. Also keep in mind the title page should also have a page number flush to the right hand side of the header. And the top part of the main title page is where you will also have the title of your paper, the full title. It should be upper and lower case, no abbreviations, and it should be no more than 2 lines with a maximum of 12 words. You should also have the author's name or your name, your school affiliation, as well as a course number or name if it's requested by your professor. Your name should be spelled out fully, first and last name, and do not include any professional titles such as doctor or PhD following your name. If you have any additional questions or concerns, you can go to section 2.01 or page 23. So there are a few other tips that you need to keep in mind when formatting your paper. There should be a 1-inch margin around the border of your paper, size 8.5 by 11. The entire document should be double spaced, size 12 font, and the type font should be Times New Roman. And this is important because whoever is reading your paper needs to be able to read clear font. You should stay away from fonts that are very difficult to read or they're not very legible. So when you're formatting your paper, be sure that the font is Times New Roman, size 12 font, and that on your title page, the information, including the title, the author, school affiliation, and course number if it's requested, should be above the top half of your paper. So in addition to the major components of your APA paper, there are other optional portions of information that you might need to include. They may consist of an author's note, institutional affiliation, abstract, footnotes, tables, figure captions, or an appendices. The author's note is usually found at the bottom of the title page, and it's used to identify affiliations to a department and any acknowledgments of support, whether it's research assistance or financial or any other special circumstances. The abstract is usually a brief summary found on a separate page following your title page, and its purpose is to give the reader a quick understanding of the content or the topic presented. It's never more than 1 or 2 paragraphs, and it just highlights the document or the content in the document. The footnotes, they're usually used when points of clarification are needed on a specific page, or if copyright information was needed to adapt or reprint certain content included on the document. And then finally, the appendices is usually detailing any additional information, such as collected data or a survey, and it's used to support the ending piece of your paper. So this next section will cover heading levels, and they're similar to the Roman numerals that you would use in an outline, a draft outline, before you begin writing the actual paper. The heading levels make organizing the body of your paper much more simple. Each heading level will indicate a section or a piece of your paper, and it's used to identify the beginning and the end of a section, so that way the reader understands the flow of your paper. Heading levels begin with 1 and go through 5. There are 5 different heading levels. Heading level 1 is centered, bold-faced, and it's upper and lowercase heading. Heading level 2 is flush to the left. It's bold-faced, and it's also upper and lowercase heading. These 2 heading levels are standalone, and the body of your paper or of that section will begin on a separate paragraph. Heading levels 3, 4, and 5 will begin immediately in the paragraph. For more information on heading levels, you can go visit section 3.03 or page 62. So in this section, we're going to try a brief exercise on how to use heading levels. For this piece, Broward College is my topic, and then I will be discussing two campuses located at Broward College, Central Campus and South Campus. And then underneath South Campus, I'm going to go into more detail regarding Pine Center, which relates to the South Campus. And so we'll begin. So we have the title of the paper, Broward College. The X's underneath of Broward College are the introduction into my paper. Once I'm done with my introduction, my next focus is to talk about Central Campus, and that will be heading level 1. That's indicated boldface, it's centered, and it's upper and lowercase heading. The X's underneath of Central Campus will begin the body of my piece on Central Campus. Once I'm done discussing Central Campus, I'll move on to the next section, which is South Campus. That's also indicated with a heading level 1. That's upper and lowercase, centered and boldface, and then the X's underneath of South Campus will be the discussion about that campus. But I'm not done discussing the South Campus yet, because the Pine Center also relates to the South Campus, so I will indicate that with heading level 2. And that's flush to the left, it's boldface, and it's also upper and lowercase. Then the X's underneath of the Pine Center section indicate my discussion about the Pine Center. Now, if I was to continue to write pieces of the section of this paper, I would focus on the North Campus. In that case, North Campus would be centered, boldface, and upper and lowercase, indicating that I'm going back to heading level 1. And for more information on how to format your heading levels, you can go to section 3.03 or page 62.